Why we think self-roasting is harmless. I'm so trash at this. Typical me, I always screw up. I have the brain of a goldfish today. We say these things to be funny, to fit in, or to lower people's expectations so we don't feel the pressure. We call it self-irony. But while you're laughing, your brain is taking notes. See, your brain is a biological machine designed for one thing: efficiency. It doesn't have a sarcasm filter in its deep subconscious layers. When you speak, you aren't just communicating with others. You are literally programming your own neural hardware. Today on Pulse, we're diving into the neurobiology of why your jokes are actually physical blueprints for your future failures. How thoughts become physical structures. Let's get technical for a second. Every thought you have is an electrical impulse traveling through a circuit of neurons. In the 1940s, psychologist Donald Hebb famously said, "Neurons that fire together, wire together." But it goes deeper than just wiring. When you repeat a thought like, "I'm socially awkward," your brain initiates a process called myelination. Myelin is a fatty tissue that wraps around your nerve fibers. Think of it like upgrading from a 1990s dial-up internet connection to a high-speed fiber optic cable. If you spend years jokingly calling yourself clumsy or unlucky, you are literally high-speed cabling that identity into your brain. You are making it physically easier for your brain to be clumsy than to be coordinated. You aren't just thinking it anymore. You have built a biological superhighway for that specific behavior. Why you stop seeing opportunities. Now let's talk about the Reticular Activating System, RAS. This is a tiny bundle of nerves in your brainstem, and it's the most powerful filter you own. The world is throwing millions of bits of data at you every second. If you processed it all, your brain would melt. So the RAS filters out what it thinks is useless and shows you what it thinks is important. And how does it know what's important? By listening to you. If you tell your brain, even in a hilarious, self-deprecating way, that nobody ever likes me, your RAS goes to work. It will ignore the 5 people who smiled at you today. It will ignore the colleague who complimented your work. But the one person who didn't say hi in the hallway, your RAS will highlight them in neon lights and scream, "See, I told you, nobody likes you." This creates a feedback loop. You say it, your RAS finds proof of it, and then you say it again because you have proof. You've turned your brain into a detective that only looks for evidence of your own suckiness. How thoughts change your chemistry. It's not just in your head, it's in your blood. When you think a negative thought about yourself, your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, doesn't know if you're joking or if a bear is attacking you. It just senses threat. This triggers the release of cortisol, the primary stress hormone. High cortisol levels shut down the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for creativity, logic, and complex problem solving. Life example. Imagine you're at a party and you jokingly tell someone, "Oh, don't ask me, I'm a total idiot when it comes to politics." Suddenly, a political topic comes up. Because you've labeled yourself an idiot, your brain is now bathing in cortisol. Your memory gets foggy. You can't find the right words. You actually become less intelligent in that moment. This is the nocebo effect. It's the opposite of a placebo. You have suggested to your body that it is incompetent, and your body is simply obeying the command. You aren't being humble. You are chemically sabotaging your own IQ. How to fix the code. So how do we fix a decade of bad programming? You don't need to become a hyper-positive manifestation guru overnight. You just need to become a linguistic editor. 1. The correction code. The next time you drop your keys and say, "I'm so clumsy," immediately follow it up with, "Wait, strike that. I just had a clumsy moment, but usually I'm quite coordinated." This tells your brain that the first statement was a bug in the code, not a new feature. 2. The third-person perspective. If you wouldn't say it to a 5-year-old child who was trying to learn, don't say it to yourself. Your subconscious mind has the emotional maturity of a child. It believes what it's told by the authority figure, which is your conscious voice. Now let's talk about a silent killer in your vocabulary, the identity trap. This is where you confuse who you are with what you did. In English, this is the difference between a noun and a verb. When you use a noun to describe yourself, you are creating a life sentence. You are telling your brain that this trait is permanent, unchangeable, and and part of your DNA. But when you switch to a verb, you turn that disaster into a data point, something temporary that happened once and can be fixed. Let's look at some high-stakes examples of how you're sabotaging your neural code. The loser bug. Wrong. Identity. I am a loser. Right. Action. I didn't get the result I wanted this time. The science. The word loser is a label. It's heavy. It tells your brain the game is over. But saying you didn't get a result tells your brain that the process is still ongoing. It's just one failed experiment in a series of many. The lazy myth. Wrong. Identity. I am so lazy. Right. Action. I struggled to find motivation today. The science. Lazy sounds like a character flaw you were born with. Struggling to find motivation describes a temporary neurochemical state. Tomorrow is a new day with new chemistry. The socially awkward ghost. Wrong. Identity. I am just socially awkward. Right. Action. I felt a bit nervous during that conversation. The science. Being awkward is a definition of your soul. Feeling nervous is just your amygdala firing off some adrenaline. It's a physical reaction, not your destiny. The money curse. Wrong. Identity. I am terrible with money. Right. Action. I made a poor financial decision last month. The science. Calling yourself terrible is a diagnosis. Making a decision is an action. You can make a better decision tomorrow morning. Do you see the pattern? Stop being the noun and start being the verb. You aren't a procrastinator. You are just someone who put off a task. You aren't bad at tech. You just haven't mastered this specific skill yet. By changing your grammar, you give your brain the biological permission to grow. You're moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset at the level of your internal monologue. Your brain is the most complex piece of technology in the universe. It can build skyscrapers, write symphonies, and explore the stars. But it is also incredibly obedient. It is listening to every word you say, every joke you make, and every silent thought you have at 3 a.m. Stop being your own worst bully for the sake of a few laughs. Respect the machine. Upgrade your language, and you will literally upgrade your life. This has been Pulse. If you're ready to stop the self-sabotage and start wiring your brain for success, hit subscribe. And in the comments, tell me, what's one joke about yourself you're going to stop making today? Stay sharp. Stay wired for more.